Well, good afternoon, folks. We're really excited that you're here with us. This is the Know Before You Go webinar for our 2025 National Ag in the Classroom Conference coming up in just a couple of weeks in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll wait for the rest to to go in, but as we head to this, one thing to know about this webinar, if you have questions, please use the Q&A feature down at the bottom of your slide. So you'll look for the Q&A. You can't use chat on a webinar, but you use the Q&A, and we'll get to those as we can. No bad time to put a question in there. Some we might save to the end, but we'll try and get to those as we can. So with that, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kevin Darty, and I have the pleasure to serve as the National Agriculture in the Classroom Organization President. So a little bit about me, I'm from Illinois. This will be my 25th National Ag in the Classroom Conference, so super excited about that. I know that you're all excited as well. Next up, I'm going to introduce Sue Knott, and Sue is here from Minnesota. So Sue's going to introduce herself and give a preview for Carrie as well that'll be joining us in just a second.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. That's funny, not funny, but this is your 25th. This is my 12th. My first national conference was actually when Minnesota hosted it in 2013, and now 12 years later, we're hosting again. So I'm really excited to see you all in person in Minnesota in just a little over 2 weeks. My colleague with Minnesota Agriculture in the Classroom, Carrie Seidel, will be joining us in a couple minutes, but she also is equally excited. So Minnesota, we are pumped to have you all visit us, and we're hoping for just a beautiful weather. Today, it's like the nicest day ever. I hope for a repeat every day that you guys are here. But I'm going to pass it over to Emily. Emily, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Sue. My name is Emily Aguirre. I'm the program leader here at Oklahoma Ag in the Classroom. I also serve as the president-elect of NACO, and I'm also on the National Conference Committee Planning Committee. So super excited to go to Minnesota. They put in a ton of work. The committee has put in a lot of work, and we are just so excited to get to Minnesota. I'll turn it over. Tessa, would you like to introduce?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Tessa Matuzak. I'm the program manager for National Agriculture in the Classroom Organization. And some of the things that you have experienced so far, the website, the app that you'll soon learn about, I am behind the scenes on those things. So excited to see you all soon.
Next up is Andy Guffey. Andy will be joining us. Maybe he's on, but he is the executive director of the National Ag in the Classroom Organization. Andy?
Yeah, I'm here and excited to get to see everybody come to Minnesota and experience what a good time you're going to have there. Tons of great workshops. Sue and her team and all of the Minnesota Ag in the Classroom team have worked really hard to really host you very well and show you a lot about Minnesota agriculture. So excited to see everybody there and excited to have another conference where we're breaking attendance records.
Yeah, with that, we are excited about it. But as you guys are thinking ahead, there are a couple of things we wanted to share with you. I call this alphabet soup. In fact, we've already started using it. And those of us who are in the game doing the Ag in the Classroom stuff, we've been talking about NATCO. But there are some other alphabet things that we throw around and wanted to make sure you knew as well. There will not be a quiz on this, but just wanted to make sure you knew what the initials stood for. Hopefully, you know the USDA is the United States Department of Agriculture, and NIFA, we call it NIFA, N-I-F-A, that's the National Institute on Food and Agriculture, the National Institute on Food and Agriculture. Our organization, the National Ag in the Classroom Organization, and the entire National Ag in the Classroom program, we're part of NIFA, which is part of the USDA. So that's how we fund as an organization. However, each program leader, those would be the people that lead your state or territory, each program leader is a part of the National Ag in the Classroom Organization that flows up into NIFA, that flows up into the USDA. We're proud to sponsor, we're proud to partner with and be with and align with several other folks. We have one organization called NCAL, the National Center for Agricultural Literacy. They help us with our website. They help us developing lessons. Those of you who've used the Matrix before, they do that as well. So you'll hear us talk about NCAL. They work alongside us. And another organization is AFBF or AFBFA. That's the American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture. So we work closely with them. It's interesting, just even here on the on our call, my parent organization is the Illinois Farm Bureau. Emily works for the State Department of Agriculture, as does Sue. Some folks work for Cooperative Extension, and some folks at the state level are Soil and Water, and some folks actually have their own private foundations that run their Ag in the Classroom program. So it's different everywhere. Two others that you'll hear us talking about, the TAF, the Tribal Agricultural Fellowship. We will be awarding some folks grants from that. And another one is CHS. CHS does some great things with us. They're an agricultural cooperative, and you might see some more stuff from CHS because they're headquartered in the great state of Minnesota. So we're excited to see that. But that's just a little bit of the alphabet soup that you'll see that's going on, that goes on within our organization. Sue and Carrie, because it's beautiful now, Sue's going to tell you what you might want to think about packing.
Well, these are just suggestions. I mean, everyone can do their own thing, but here's some ideas that we have. If you're a first-time attendee, these might be helpful tips. If you're a veteran and have some suggestions, like Kevin mentioned before, please use the Q&A to share any thoughts you have. But what to wear, I know, is always a big deal. I always struggle with packing the right things, but some things to keep in mind on Tuesday. So we're kicking off the first day of the conference with our traveling workshops. So this is, like, I think the hands down, my favorite part about the conference. We are going to be going to agricultural sites within about a 50-mile radius of the hotel. Agriculture sites are most of the time, uneven ground, not especially pristine. So wear clothes that you don't mind getting, worn, and shoes that are very comfortable, and closed-toed shoes are really important. So flip-flops, Crocs, save those for the pool, save those for another time. Wear shoes, just tennis shoes or any shoes that cover your whole feet, especially your toes, are really important to wear on that Tuesday. Also, the first bullet, I kind of skipped over that. Tuesday is show your state pride. So if you have a t-shirt that says your state or, whatever, so we can see where you're from, please plan to wear that. And there is one workshop in the morning before we go on the traveling workshops, but that's a pretty casual day, showing your state pride. And Minnesota, today it's about 80 and sunny and really, really nice. We're hoping for that this week as well, but it could be, it could be in the 60s, it could be in the 90s. So pack a few layers. Air conditioning is going to be plenty in the conference site, and then outdoor activities, you might want to dress a little bit for warmer weather. Wednesday and Thursday are also sort of school day casual, what you would maybe wear to school as a teacher. There is awardees who are going to get recognized at some of the meal functions. So we call that school day dressy. So maybe a little bit fancier than your normal school day casual, because you will get your picture taken. And if you want to, look a little extra special for those pictures, school day dressy might be what you want to wear. Wednesday night, we have a keynote speaker and a banquet. And then after that, we have bingo. And gosh, I don't know when this started, but a couple years ago, we started having themes for our bingo nights, and people go crazy. So our theme for this year is at the lake. So Minnesota is home of 10,000 lakes, actually a few more than that if you're counting. But we wanted to have a going to the lake theme. So boating gear, beach wear, camping stuff, anything that you would do by a lake. That's what we would like you to wear for that bingo, or that evening themed bingo. And for those of you who are veterans to this conference, you know that our exhibitors, our presenters, many of them have all kinds of fantastic resources that I have available for you to bring home. So you might want to consider leaving a little extra space in your luggage, or using a larger suitcase than you were planning to, so you have space for bringing all of those things home. So that's my advice. My fellow presenters, do you guys have any additional thoughts, or anyone have anything in the Q&A we should share? Oh, one more thing.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to share also on Tuesday for those traveling workshops, they will happen rain or shine. So if it is raining, we are going to do them. So bring a rain jacket or an umbrella, or just, be prepared to brave the elements. We can't predict what it's going to be like, but it does rain often or frequently. So I would pack an extra raincoat and maybe an umbrella if you want to be prepared.
Agreed with that. And again, school day casual, nothing dressier than that. And when we say school day dressy, kind of picture day, you don't have to have formal gowns, I'll probably have a jacket on, but I never wear a jacket and a tie, rarely. So you might get to see that. But for the most part, for everyone else, it's literally school day casual to school day dressy at the most. However, it is a large convention center, and you get a little chilly. They can't turn down the air conditioning, so you might consider a sweater or something else just in case, But we are excited. Carrie is here. Carrie's joining us. Carrie is also from the Minnesota Ag in a Classroom program. Carrie, how many of these have you been to? And tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what you know about chili coming from Florida originally.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I'm glad to be with everyone today. We're looking forward to welcoming you to Minnesota. This will be, I think, my maybe my sixth national conference. I just am going to reiterate over and over again, you definitely want to check the weather before you pack. It just really can be so different. And I grew up in Florida. And so the fact that here in Minnesota, we can have a 90-degree day and then a 65-degree day the next day is still wild to me. So check the weather, check the weather, check the weather. That's my number one tip for your packing.
Awesome. Well, great. So again, if you have questions, put those in the Q&A. Sue's going to go over a couple of the conference specifics, Sue and Carrie.
We are. And Sue, if you would like for me to start, since you just did that last slide, I would love to. So the hotel that the conference is based in is the Hyatt Regency Minneapolis. There are openings right now for hotel room reservations with some cancellations that have happened. So check the website to see about those openings at the Hyatt Regency Minneapolis. There are 2 overflow hotels that some of you may be staying at. Erin, our conference planner, did want to mention to you, if you're staying at the Hilton, you can look for the Skyway if you want to stay inside while you walk from the Hilton to the Hyatt. However, Wednesday night, that Skyway will close before the end of our festivities, so keep that in mind. And for the rest of you, if you're not, most of us are not staying at the Hilton, Minneapolis is known for their Skyways. There are lots of walkways through buildings so that you don't have to go outside when it's minus 30 degrees, which you will not get to experience on this trip. You'll need to come back in January or February for 30 below zero. That's real. You're going to be flying into the airport. We would recommend the rideshare, an Uber or a Lyft. There is a light rail public transit, but the stop that is closest to the hotel is about a mile away. So depending on how much luggage you bring, a mile walk after your flight may or may not be ideal for you. We wanted to real quick just list here the meals that are included with your conference registration. Tuesday, there will be breakfast and lunch. Lunch will be a box lunch. Dinner is on your own. Wednesday, there is lunch and dinner, but breakfast is on your own. And then Thursday, there is a breakfast. If you have allergies or food issues, you'll get a ticket provided to you if you had noted that in your registration. If you had something like an allergy or food issue that you did not mention, Tessa, Emily, I'm going to suggest that we reach out ASAP if you did not note that in your registration. Send an email. Tessa, there's probably an email in the registration link.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That'd be great. Just reply back to that if there's any concerns.
I also wanted to point out, I think on the Hyatt Regency, there's only king size rooms left right now. So just if you're looking for doubles, you can continually check back. But right now there's just king size.
If whoever's running the slideshow, can we go back one slide? Because we have a couple of unique features about the hotel that Sue and I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I am the one doing the slides and they went weird for a second. So give me a moment and I will reshare.
We did get a question in the chat that they just checked the Hyatt's not showing any rooms available. So just keep checking. We have people that are leaving, that kind of stuff. No need to call for anyone. It will update on there. Sometimes there's a lag. We got information on this on Monday and Tuesday. So Minneapolis, a lot of people are flying in and out and people are using the Hyatt as well. So just keep checking back. Again, we opened the bookings for this for our rooms a long time ago, back in March, and so some folks have booked and they're canceling their rooms now. So, yes. dietary restrictions for guests as well. If you're paying for them to come and they are coming in and they had dietary restrictions, those need to be noted or they won't be receiving those. So again, the hotel, the staff, they do a wonderful job. All our hotels do a wonderful job, but if they didn't know it and they haven't planned on it, it won't be there for you. So
Okay,
we've got
we
those
want
questions. Go ahead, Sue.
Yeah, I'm going to point out a few things that are unique to the Hyatt Regency where our conference is going to be held. So this is a picture up here in the right, upper right, the kind of the tall white part. That's where your rooms will be. And there's a nice lobby area. But then just to the side is the Loring Greenway, which is a pretty unique feature for a hotel in a downtown, metro area. So this is downtown Minneapolis, and right on the side of the hotel is this green space. So it's a really nicely paved walkway with all sorts of plantings and flowers and fountains. And if you walk, it's probably maybe 2.5 blocks. It looks like this. You'll get to Loring Park that has a small pond and some benches. And I think there's even a tennis court. So right outside the hotel, if you need a little fresh air, you can go for a walk into that park. And if you keep walking, it's less than a half a mile, maybe like, I don't know, a third of a mile. You'll get to a pedestrian bridge that goes over a pretty busy highway, Highway 394. But that will lead you to the Minneapolis Sculpture Garden. So less than a half mile away, you can see these are pictures from the Minneapolis Sculpture Garden. The spoon with the cherry is kind of an iconic sculpture. You can kind of see it in the back, but this is my favorite sculpture. It's a really bright blue rooster. And there's over 100 different sculptures from, artists from 60 different countries, and it's free. And you can get there really quickly and just peruse the sculptures. So I think, in my opinion, that's a really pretty unique feature for a downtown hotel. That you can get these green spaces and really culture, art very close. Also, a very unique and I think really awesome thing about the Hyatt Regency is that it has a extensive fitness center. This used to be a health club that people purchased memberships to, but that closed down, and then the hotel just kind of absorbed it. So all of the people staying at this hotel can use these facilities. There's a full-size basketball court, so you can do a little pickup basketball in the morning or afternoon or whenever you feel the need to play some hoops. There is I don't know, I should have counted them when we were there, but there's many ellipticals, treadmills, Peloton bikes. Like you can, not our whole conference, but a big group of people could go down and use those that exercise equipment. And then there is a group fitness room that we are going to be using for yoga on Wednesday and Thursday morning at 6 o'clock. Mary Lynn from Florida, who at the last two conferences has led morning yoga, is going to do that again. So you just get to pop down there if you're interested. There'll be yoga mats, and she'll lead you through about 30 to 45 minutes yoga session. So those are some unique features to the Hyatt Regency that we definitely wanted to share with you. Right, Terry, I want you to share. Yeah, go ahead.
Now we're going to move into going day by day to give you the highlights of what's happening each day. So on Monday, the 23rd, we imagine that many of you are going to be arriving for the conference, and there are 2 pre-conference tours that day. The first one, the Duluth tour, is sold out. Please note, Duluth tour friends, that's going to be a very jam-packed long day, but I think you're going to love it. Real quick, on that tour, you're going to get to go to the Glensheen Historic Mansion, a very prominent, important family. Then you're going to stop down at the Lake Superior Maritime Museum, which is also right in front of the big lift bridge. It's a really iconic part of Duluth that I also love. If we're lucky, I don't know if we will be, there'll be a big ship coming in and the lift bridge will have to go up, but I don't know if I was that good of a tour planner that's going to line up, because I didn't have the shipping schedule when we did that. Then you have a boat cruise around the harbor to learn more about what goes on up in northern Minnesota on the Iron Range and the shipping. It's all, I find it all very fascinating. And then you'll get to end the day with some shopping time in Canal Street. So that tour is sold out. Yeah.
Sue and Carrie, how far is it to Duluth?
It is a solid drive.
Will be on a bus.
2 hours. So 2.5. So there's gonna be some bus time there. So I would be sure to bring a book if you'd like to read, chat with your new friends around you, or just take a nap on the way up or on the way back. But it's one of my favorite places to go, Duluth. I love it up there. The Lake Minnetonka tour does still have some openings, so I included a few pictures to paint the picture for you of what that day would be. And personally, I couldn't think of a better Monday spent than headed to this town. It's called Excelsior. You'll get dropped off at the giant Port of Excelsior sign. There's some historic signage that tells you more about the history of Excelsior and the port. You'll board a Paradise charter boat for a Lake Minnetonka boat tour, and lunch will be provided on that tour, and you'll get the history of Lake Minnetonka. And then you'll have time to take a walk, a stroll through the park. That's the picture on the left with the green grass. I took that picture last summer. It's a beautiful spot. So you can take a little tour along the lakefront. There's beautiful old homes right there too. So I love to go strolling through the pretty historic, bigger than I can afford homes, and dream about living there one day. And then you can head over here to the middle picture to the shops. It's got a really cute, quaint downtown. There's a bookstore that I love to pop into, an antique store. There's, the expected lake town tourist type shop. And then this last picture is of the lobby, this adorable coffee shop that I love to visit when I'm there. So you'll have time after the boat cruise to explore Excelsior, wander the downtown, be outside, get on the lake in the land of 10,000 lakes. So that tour is still open. There is still registration spots available. And I believe that's going to close on the 13th. I'm getting head shakes. Yes, that registration will close on the 13th.
So how far is Lake Minnetonka again, Carrie?
25 minutes.
So even if you wanted to Uber somewhere, probably not, but there are lots of really cool things to do. Let's say your plane gets in at 9 o'clock. By the time you get down to downtown, you've got stuff. Easy drive, Sue, on Monday. Easy work down to the Wheat Museum, and there's just lots of cool things in the area. You could Uber down there, or you could walk down, or Uber down and walk back. Just lots of neat things to see in downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Kevin. So the Mississippi River is just blocks away. It's a bit of a walk, but not too much. But yeah, the Mill City Museum is the Wheat Museum. That's the name of it. And there's some really cool signage, and there's a Stone Arch Bridge, and yeah, so lots of things close to the hotel too. If you're not able to go on these pre-conference tours and are wanting to be out and about on Monday. But I think we're ready to move on to Tuesday. So.
Okay, I'll kind of cover the first part of the day, and then I'll let Sue or Carrie kind of talk about the traveling workshops. So we'll start out the morning, the first day of conference. We'll have our opening breakfast and the opening session. And then we have one basically block of workshops. And that'll be before we have our breaks with exhibitors, door prizes, and then we will kind of transition to our traveling workshops that afternoon. So Sue or Carrie, I'll let one of y'all kind of cover a little bit of details about those.
Thanks, Emily. So we have 12 different traveling workshop options, which you should have selected one when you did your registration. Some of them are sold out. There's some that have a couple spots left. But we are so excited to show you all of the really cool agricultural things here in Minnesota. So, some of them are going to Turkey Farm or the Hmong American Farmers Association farm. We have a dairy farm. We also have some really unique horticulture opportunities. Carrie's husband works with the Vikings here in Minnesota, the football team. So we have agriculture on the sports field highlighted at a couple different spots. So we hope you are excited for these traveling workshops. They are, like I said, hands down my favorite part. But as a planner, now I realize they take a lot of coordination. So I hope that they just are really the highlight for you as well. As we mentioned before, please dress for whatever weather might come at us. So rain jackets, umbrellas, sunscreen, sun hats, definitely closed-toed shoes. Gosh, Carrie, is there anything else we need to share about traveling workshops?
No, I just think noting that you'll be getting your lunches at various times. Your group will be dismissed to head to the bus. So just be ready for that.
I'm going to share one thing. Those of you, the teachers in the audience, when you take children on a traveling workshop, you might call those field trips. Those are the coolest things in the world from the student perspective, and they can also be a big headache from the teacher perspective. Well, you are all the students now, and we're all the teachers. So we need some help with this. We need some help staying in your rooms, you don't have to march in line down the hallway, but if you can all move together and all work together, that would really help us because we need to get about 550 of you out the door at the same time onto the right bus. And one thing I'll share is if you are early, you are on time. If you are on time, you are late. If you are late, you are left. All right, because we got a schedule to keep. We do have a question about charter buses for the tours on Monday and Tuesday. They are charter buses. We aren't using school buses. So don't have to worry about that. So that's the good news about this. Oftentimes your field trips don't get to take charter buses, but you will be on a real bus. You'll be there. So.
And it's noted on the slide that each tour will meet in a separate breakout room. So just like you're going to like a normal workshop that would be on site at the conference, you will go to an assigned room for your tour. And then we will come and get each tour group from that room to go load on the bus. So you'll find that room, you'll go there, you'll have some hosts explaining what the afternoon is going to be like, and then we'll come and get you, grab your lunch, and then hop on the bus. So after those traveling workshops, after you return to the hotel, which will be approximately 5:30, then you will have the evening to spend on your own in Minneapolis. So Carrie has put together a list of some things that we think you might or should consider doing on that evening, that free evening.
This is just a couple of ideas. There is tons of things to do. There's a Meet Minneapolis website you could go peruse, but a lot of these came from my Pinterest bucket list when I knew I was moving to Minnesota. I wanted to be excited about it because we were moving sight unseen in 2 weeks. So I needed to like quickly get excited. So these are some of my favorite places and things to do. The first thing is on Tuesday night, there is a Twins Major League Baseball game that's at 6:40. So if you are interested in baseball, maybe go see if there's tickets available. There are lots of restaurants downtown, and Sue and
just quick, Carrie, I don't mean to interrupt, but I will. So the Twins play at Target Field, which is walkable from the hotel. It's in downtown. So you would just have to get the ticket and then you could walk there. And it's a beautiful stadium. And on a summer night, it's a great place to be. But carry on.
That was an excellent addition. Target Field's really cool too. They have a lot of neat features and they tried to make it really reflect the love of the outdoors that Minnesota has. Some restaurants that are just a few here to mention. The Newsroom, the Local, they're both pretty close to the hotel and would be walkable. Manny's, if you are looking to go for a very expensive dinner, is a steakhouse, and it says Face. That's supposed to say Fave. That's my favorite place to go in downtown. My husband and I love to go there once or twice a year, but it would be our choice.
I thought you were going to make a face. Like I didn't know what that meant when I read it. So
no, I didn't see that typo the first time we did this. This is fun. Live. Here we go. Carrie's Face. No, it's Carrie's Fave is Manny's, but it is pretty pricey. They have a meat cart and they bring it around and tell you about all the different cuts of meat and cuts of steak. So the Sonora Kitchen and Bar is also walkable, and they have very good margaritas if you're interested in those. And then Crooked, okay, this slide and I are not getting along. It's called Crooked Pint Ale House, not Pine. They specialize in the Juicy Lucy, which is a Minneapolis specialty. It's the cheeseburger, but the cheese is inside the patty, and we call it a Juicy Lucy around here. It's very good. If you wanted to go on an Uber adventure on Tuesday night or Monday, if you had time then, I listed a couple of ideas. You just can't walk to these, so you would need to Uber. Minnehaha Falls, like you'll see the waterfall, that's within the city limits of Minneapolis, and it's a beautiful spot. They have a restaurant on site that has all outdoor seating called Sea Salt that people rave about around here. Then right below the waterfall is the Lake Harriet Bandshell. This is also within the Minneapolis city limits. We have multiple lakes in Minneapolis. This is a gorgeous spot. They also have a food stand that it's pretty highly rated or thought about, and it's a 3.1 or 3.2 miles around the lake. I know because I did a 10K there one time and had to do it twice the loop, but it's a beautiful walk around there. Then that last picture in that column is of the Astor Cafe, which is across the city. They have a very nice patio, and then you would see that city skyline view from over there and the Stone Arch Bridge because you'd be across the river from the downtown. And when the sun goes down and the lights, it's one of, I'm telling you all of my favorite places to go here if we can't tell. I love to walk down that. And I walked by the Astor Cafe. I've eaten inside before, but people are clinking their wine glasses, eating outside. It just seems like a delightful spot to go on a Tuesday summer evening. And then I gave you two more ideas. There is, my pronunciation won't be very good, but the restaurant by the sous chef, it is very hard to get reservations, but He does all indigenous menus, and it's also very highly talked about, rated around Minnesota. And then Sue and I also love this place called the Farmer's Kitchen and Bar. It's right down by the river near the Mill City Museum. And it's a state fair staple, their maple cream nitro cold brew. So if you were to find yourself there in the morning, I would highly recommend you try the maple cream nitro cold brew, and you can pretend you're visiting the Minnesota State Fair. This is just a few ideas of things for you to do. I hope you see that there is so much to do within Minneapolis, just within a city. If you need more ideas or you're looking for something specific, feel free to reach out or talk to me at the conference, and I will give you a few ideas.
And not only that, Carrie, you guys also have a number of Minneapolis Ag in the Classroom volunteers and staffers and others that will be there. So you see somebody with Minnesota on their name tag. I've always found they're very friendly and very eager to tell you and contradict what their favorite restaurant is in case it's not what Carrie's favorite restaurant is. So. Next up is Wednesday, and I'll start with this. Again, we do have that yoga. It's an optional yoga. We do not mandate yoga, but if you want to go, there will be a yoga with an Ag in the Classroom spin on it. We'll be an Ag in the Classroom leader. She's been leading us from Florida for a couple of years. We don't have breakfast this year. That's something a little new and different. So if you're returning, we get 2 big meals on Wednesday, and we found that a lot of people, quite honestly, would just rather skip breakfast and come a little later. So we're letting you come. If after yoga, you can run up to your room and get changed for the rest of the day because it is a jam-packed day starting at 8:30. Emily, I'll let you take them through that schedule.
Okay, so yes, we have a lot of workshops today. So we have 2 full workshops from 8:30 and then 10:30. And then we also have our award luncheon. We also have workshops that afternoon, and we end the day with mini workshops. So a lot of times in the past, we've had mini workshops maybe on the last day or different times, but we've kind of fit them in a couple of different areas this year. Then we'll end the day with the reception. We'll also have our banquet dinner with our keynote speaker, which Sue will kind of share about shortly. And then Kevin, I don't know if you or Andy kind of want to talk a little bit about bingo.
Yeah, we're going to have bingo with prizes. If you purchase bingo tickets, there's bingo. It is a great time. Andy is our National Ag in the Classroom executive director. He leads that, and it's a lot of fun. So we've got bingo, but throughout the day, wherever you see those breaks, one other thing. Oh, and we got great prizes. States are donating prizes. We got prizes coming in, so the bingo winners get to pick their prizes. It's a really cool thing. One other thing, though, like at that 9:30 to 10:30 break, 9:30 to 10:30 break, there will be a break. And again, you're well fed and well watered throughout this whole entire time, but there will be break stuff set up for you. But we have a chance for you to visit exhibitors. But one thing I want to tell you about that 9:30 break on Wednesday, we have a number of authors. Some of our favorite authors who will be joining us and throughout the session and throughout the day, but they'll actually be signing books that day. Shannon Anderson, she's written books for the American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture's Feeding Minds Press. She'll be there signing books. She's written a couple, one on strawberries, one on blueberries. I know we have June Jo Lee and Jacqueline Briggs Meyer that'll be there. They've done books like about Farmer Eva. They will be at the Readers to Eaters booth. We have just confirmed we will have John Coy. He's written a couple of books, Two Old Potatoes and The Secret of Fall, and they will be at the Cherry Lakes Press Book. So again, if you're looking, the books will be for sale. You can buy a book and get the author to sign it right there. Throughout those. Plus, in order to do this, we also have some door prizes that we give away throughout as well. So all sorts of chances for you to visit and walk down there and see as the workshop hosts are switching rooms and getting things reset up for you. So
I will mention the bingo cards. You maybe purchased them when you registered. You could have purchased them as part of that, but you can just purchase them on site, like at our info desk, or after the keynote speaker and dinner, we'll have them for sale then too. So if you did not purchase them in registration, you're not out of luck. We still definitely want you to play bingo if you want to. I think, is there a question in the Q&A? I can't get it to come up with online.
There is. Bingo cards are $20. $20 so they're there. You can buy as many as you want. And we're going to get to the conference app in just a minute. Don't worry, we have a whole section on the conference app. We're referring to it, and we will be getting to that and show you how you can set it up. You guys get the sneak peek on that in just a couple of minutes. But as we head to that, let's go to, I'm super excited about our keynote speaker for Sue to talk about this. So go ahead, Sue.
Yeah, so if you, I don't know, this was a little bit of a challenge, or we were racking our brains to come up with a really amazing keynote speaker for this conference. And if you've looked at this, we selected Teresa Resch, who's the president of the Toronto Tempo Women's NBA, National Basketball Association team, which might seem like a strange selection, you know, the president of a basketball team in another country, but she is a Minnesota native. She grew up on a family farm in southwestern Minnesota, the same farm family that I grew up in. She's actually my sister. So she grew up with really strong roots in agriculture. We had livestock and crops. She's a longtime 4-H and FFA member. And so really solid foundation in agriculture, also really strong education connections. So both our parents were teachers, or our teachers, our grandmother told many stories teaching in a one-room schoolhouse in rural Minnesota. So yeah, strong agriculture connections as well. And, you know, our attendees at this conference are 85% plus female. So we really wanted to showcase and lift up stories of really cool things that females are doing and the positive impact that they're having. So please get excited with me to welcome Teresa to be our keynote speaker on Wednesday night. I'm trying, or I don't know, I'm not trying to tell her what to do as her older sister, but I am trying to give her some pointers that we want to be entertained, and we want a really great story and inspiration, and just to make us feel really, really great about being at the conference and our connections with agriculture and education. So she is our keynote speaker on Wednesday night.
We do have a couple of questions that have come through, and I thought we'd just do that again. We will get to the conference app in just a second before we go to Thursday, but also on the conference app, it asks, you know, hey, how do we get to pick out which sessions? You go to the sessions, you just go to the different rooms, but we will have those on the conference app, and you'll have access to those. Just so you know, there are 10 different breakout rooms each time, so plenty of things to choose from. So we'll talk about that in just a second. So I'll turn it back over to Emily for Thursday.
Okay, and yes, I sent the link. Somebody had said it kind of about the full agenda, but you can also look right now on the agenda online, scroll down to the workshop times, and it has all the workshops listed, and you can click on those and actually comes up with the description. So just check out that full agenda, not the at a glance. Okay, so Thursday, of course, we have yoga again. So you're welcome to attend yoga if you would like to. We also have our closing breakfast that morning. So that will be the last kind of large meal that we have together. We'll be talking also kind of a preview of the 2026 conference, which I know they're really excited about. And then we have 3 basically sets of workshops. So we'll have a full workshop from 9:30 to 10:50. We'll have mini workshops, which basically those are 20-minute workshops that will happen 3 times. So you can go around to 3 different of those mini workshops. And then we end with a full workshop at the end of the day. So a couple of years ago, we would end with a lunch. We don't do that anymore. That's obviously a big travel day for a lot of people. I know a lot of us will be going to the airport to head home that afternoon. And just the people who did attend lunch, we figured it wasn't, anyway, really needed that day. Luggage storage, we'll give out, I don't know if we have a specific room for that yet, but we'll definitely give out details at conference and let everyone know, because you will have to go that last workshop, and it'll take you out of, you know, when you need to check out of your room. So you'll need a place to put your luggage that morning, but we'll be sure and give that information at the conference. Okay, so we'll continue on. Just some more information. We do have a swag silo, which you might remember that from last year. But we have some NACO swag that you'll be able to pick up whenever you go to check in, get your name tag, do all your registration. You'll be able to go through the swag silo. There are 3 different items that the committee selected that we're super excited that you'll get to pick from. You'll get to pick one of those and take it home with you. During the conference, we would encourage you to share. So if you're sharing on social media, please use that hashtag. Also for the app, which Tessa's going to go over all that. But if you choose to not download that, before you arrive, whenever you get your name tag, we'll talk about a reference code, and the reference code is actually printed on your name tag. So you'll have that right in front of you. I always like to bring up too, and Tessa will talk about the reference number. But if you're looking for that reference number on the app, also just look for your registration. And that came from events at naco.org if you're wondering what email that came from if you didn't save it. We will also have a conference survey that will go out to all the participants after the conference. And then we'll also send a post-conference certificate. So that's something that will go out to everyone after the conference. So you can kind of have professional development certificate.
So we're gonna take some questions. There'll be more time for questions in a minute, but Tessa's getting ready to share the app. We got to switch gears from the presentation side here to literally her phone to talk about it and how it works. But lots of great questions so far. Hopefully you've seen that there's a lot of stuff planned for you. Again, those 10 different workshops in each session, lots of things to choose from. And as you look online, your first thing to do, if you download the app, you'll be good to go. But you can also look at agclassroom.org, click on the national conference link from agclassroom.org, and it'll take you right to that, and you can find the full schedule, not just the schedule at a glance. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tessa, and she's going to talk about the app.
Okay, so as you all can see, I have my phone pulled up. Isn't it so cool what technology can do now? So I am going to give you just a preview of what the event app looks like. We're not going to release it to you at this moment because there's still a few things that we're finalizing in it to make it perfect and beautiful for you. But this is going to be all released to you via an email that will be coming in the next couple weeks about the important things to know before you go to conference. So there will be a QR code for you to scan to get access to this app. We'll make sure your reference number is again plugged in there for you. That's kind of just your confirmation number you get from registration, and any other directions you need. So we're going to go ahead and open it, and this is what you're going to see. I've been in here a bunch recently, so it's pre-populated for me. I did not have to enter my reference number or email. You will have to do those things. So we go ahead and just tap on it, and it will start to open. We have some great things here to showcase, like our upcoming conferences next year already. Oh my goodness. But then we land on the home screen. And so from here, you're going to get to kind of just go wherever you need to. We've tried to make it very functional, very helpful. Some important things live here, like if you're trying to connect to Wi-Fi, your information will be right there. Probably the most important thing is going to be our agenda. So the live agenda is on the conference website. We stuck that in the chat a couple times on those Q&A questions. But when we go to our agenda, we're going to see everything here in live time. So every now and then things alter and change. So it's always great to come to the app in case there was any last minute pivots or anything that had to change. You'll have it right here. That's why we don't really print out a paper agenda any longer, because so many things happened in the last few weeks. One of the coolest things about the agenda, I think, is that you can create your own agenda. So it's really easy for you to find what you're doing and where you need to go. So by doing that, you just put a little star next to something. So as you maybe are searching through workshops, or know you need to be at a rehearsal practice somewhere for an award, you can go ahead and star it. So I'll just show you. I'm going to go to this workshop. Sounds great. So now over on my agenda, it's listed for me. So then even going a step further, if you want to look into things, you can pull it up and start to take a look. So this is my workshop. Oh, I have my name is spelled wrong. How fun. So I will be presenting this at conference. You can see title, where it takes place, the description, same things that's on the website. Who's presenting? So we can take a look at the presenter, maybe find out some more about them. we can go ahead and see where it is. So this is our conference map. You can also get to this from the home screen. You can zoom in. You have that nice little marker right there telling me where to go. There's going to be an option in some of these workshops to take home materials that the presenter wants you to have or thinks you might want. So a resource. So I've uploaded something here, this full report document, just something to go along with my workshop. So, okay, I want to take that home. I want that for later. Well, a lot of us all use our technology, right? We're not printing out 60 copies of something to hand out in a workshop necessarily anymore. We do it digitally. So I want to add this full report PDF that's listed here into my conference bag. Your conference bag is your little digital take home conference bag that you'll get to email to yourself later. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add. And so I just added that full report document, which just is this right here, into my digital conference bag. There's also an important thing listed under the workshop. So we're going to ask you, a room host is going to ask you in each workshop to please review the workshop session. So there's a short survey here. You just go ahead and tap that and start to review the workshop in there. Just a handful of questions. So we're going to back up again, back to the home page. Floor plan, I touched on that real quick when we were in the app or in the session, but if you get lost at any point, don't know where to go, that lives right here. And you can, again, zoom in, zoom out, find yourself. We're on a few different levels at the Hyatt Regency. So we're going to have lovely signage all over that hopefully will make things crystal clear, but in case they're not, you can always go to your app. If you wanted to check on some of those fun things that Carrie was talking about, for places to go and things to do, there's a few things listed in here. So you'll be able to go ahead and tap that. For me, right now it's saying I'm very far from this, but it will be logistically set up to where you are in the physical when you're there, not 900 and something miles away like I am right now in South Carolina. We have a wonderful lineup of exhibitors that will be at conference. We are working on getting all those plugged in, so I'm not going to go into there right now, but when you tap into there, you will have a full list of exhibitors, their booth numbers, where to find them, and contact info. Very similar looking to what it looks like for our sponsors. So we have so many wonderful partners with National Agriculture in the Classroom that really just help us make this conference especially possible. And so those sponsors are going to be listed in here as well. Speakers, if you are interested in connecting with speakers for workshops, everyone will be listed in the app as well. There will be ads that occasionally pop up, such as this. If you don't want to watch it, you can hit that little X that was up in the top corner. But great little info bites will be coming through the app occasionally. We have a notes opportunity if you want to jot some notes in here digitally, photo sharing, chat, and then there will be rating and reviews on some general session opportunities. Attendees are also listed in here, so you can find people if you want to connect with them, maybe make some new friends, we hope. It's always a great part of conference. So then back to that conference bag I was talking about, once you've loaded in all those items you want to take from workshops, you can go to your conference bag whenever you please and go ahead and select the material you would like to send to yourself. And so you're going to allow it, the app will allow you to email this to you when you are ready. That is kind of the gist of the app. Oh, there is a profile option if you don't want certain notifications or different settings, or if you want a profile picture, all those things, you can add those into there. So that is yours to customize as you please. So again, we are going to release this to you via email. If you have any questions, anyone at the info desk will be able to help and give you kind of a helpful tip, trick walkthrough on the app. We'll also have a video or two showcasing in our general sessions of how the app works and how to get into it quick. But that name tag is going to have your reference number on it. If you don't have it handy, will be plugged into your email and you should be all set. But we're excited to bring you to Minnesota.
Great. Thank you, Tessa. Appreciate that. So, not released yet. Everything you can find on the app, you can find on the website right now, with the exception of stuff you can't put things in the conference bag. That's coming. All right. So, everything comes together right here toward the end. We will have several announcements throughout the conference session about the app and reminding you about the app. And many people can help you with the app. I would not be one of those people, but many people can help you with the app. So we'll take care of that. I accidentally hit the note on we'd answer this live, but convenience stores is a place to get breakfast close by. Lots of places. There are places within the hotel to grab something. In Nicollet Mall, we're on Nicollet Mall Road and Nicollet Mall type things through some of those walkways. There's a donut shop a block away. There's convenience stores. I know that just pulling up the map, if you go to the Hyatt Regency, the hotels, their website, their map, it talks about how I just had it. The name of the you guys have those Caribou coffees. They're everywhere up there. So you'll be fine. There will be plenty of places that you can find. But again, there is a 50 style diner, I would say 64 steps across the street from the main door, maybe. All right, big steps, but literally right there, there'll be places that you can do that. So we answered the convenience store and breakfast places. And again, you're going out on Tuesday as you are walking around, that kind of stuff. It is you grab your stuff, and again, we're going to have breaks throughout the day, and there will be things for you to grab. So don't worry about it. But if you need a full breakfast, I can put in a good word for it's like the 50 style diner right across the street. So you can't miss it. What's it? Nicollet Diner, I think it's called. Nicollet Diner. So right across the street. Put in a good word for that. So we've covered the app. Somebody asked where we can find a recording of this webinar. We're going to send this out, correct, Sue? So correct? Sorry, Tessa?
Yes. Yep. It'll be sent out to
crazy, yes. But
everybody coming to conference. Yep.
And with bingo, you get the bingo cards and you get a yellow highlighter. We have that covered. So we will have things for you to cover your bingo with. But if you are an official bingo player and have an official bingo dauber, there are people who take this very seriously. We know. So if you are really hardcore bingo and you got your own bingo stuff, bring it. But otherwise, we will have stuff to cover your bingo cards with. So we've got that covered as well. So with that, we've got another slide, and we'll keep adding some questions. If you want to go to our next slide here. Our next one, go ahead, Emily.
Okay, we are going to also have our virtual conference. So if you're not able to attend the in-person conference, or you want to attend another conference, in addition to the in-person conference, we'll be having that on July 17th. And we will have a guest speaker, which I'll let Kevin talk about in just a minute. But what's really cool about it is we do have two different tracks. So we have an elementary track, and then we also have a secondary track. And I know that Kevin has been working hard to get all those sessions and stuff put together. So Kevin, I'll let you share kind of the details about who will be on that.
Yeah, so a special announcement for you. We will be sharing this at the national conference as well. But Shannon Anderson, whose new book, I Love Blueberries, is out. She will be our guest that will join us early that morning for a 25-minute interview with authors, talking about what it's like to write children's books and what goes on that. Again, she's got two related ones, I Love Blueberries and I Love Strawberries. Then in our first breakout sessions, we'll have breakout sessions for 50 minutes. We do them for 50 minutes instead of an hour. That way they'll start at 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30 Central Time. That's Central timing. So if you are in Alaska, it's really early. But we record it. That's the good news. We record this as well. But our elementary tracks will be one on hydroponics. We'll have one on hydroponics. We'll have one on pollinators, toolkits, tool science-based pollinator education, and we'll have one on awesome agriculture, kind of a unique way of looking at kind of a mystery science activity. So these are all speakers who are speaking at the national conference that have agreed to come on and do that. Our secondary group will be focused on global food security, the environmental cost of food, and then the Journey 2050. It is a web-based activity that we can do, and you'll hear a little bit more about those. But we'll have that information set up at the national conference as well. So that's really exciting. So July 17th, it's about a month afterwards. You'll get a chance. If you didn't get a chance to hear one of those speakers or you want to hear from them again, there'll be a chance to hear from those. 2 separate tracks, elementary and secondary, and we'll have some time for that as part of our virtual conference. Cool part about our virtual conference is sponsored by making sure that this all happened by both CHS and BASF. So the agricultural community supports us making sure that we're able to share information, accurate information about agriculture with all of you.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, Kevin, but the virtual conference is free. So no
yeah, it's
cost
free.
to attend.
It's free. And is there a way to attend both? Well, they happen at the exact same time. So at 9:30, we'll have an elementary session and a secondary session. At 10:30, we'll have an elementary session and a secondary session. The same thing at 11:30. So you can flip back and forth between them, or you wait and you watch the recording later. So that's a really good question with that. Yep. So we got the convenience stores. We're done with that one. We got the conference app. We answered that. Hopefully you got more information on that. You can attend both. When do you pick up your conference packets? This is a really good point. So I happen to know this traveler, and this traveler will be coming in on Sunday in order to be there for a Monday tour. Tessa, they'll be able to register and that kind of stuff on Monday morning, correct? Before they head to Duluth.
No, because Duluth, they're leaving at 6:45.
So they'll just meet somewhere down there, and when they get back, they will be able to pick it up afterward. The registration will be closed. They'll just pick it up on Tuesday morning.
Yep. Tuesday morning.
Yep.
The registration area opens at 7 on Tuesday morning. So I would be up there ready to go at 7 o'clock to get your things on Tuesday morning. If you are going on that Duluth trip, we realize that's during when you can pick up your registration, but it's going to be worth it. Duluth is going to be awesome. You'll just need to get your registration information on that Tuesday morning.
Somebody asked a question about recommendations for guests traveling with you. There's tons of stuff to do in Minneapolis. My wife's coming with me. She knows that she'll see me when we get there on Sunday and won't see me again until Thursday afternoon. And she's on her own. She's really looking forward to it. So you will be busy. They again, go out to breakfast, head to the Nicolette Diner across the street if you want to grab breakfast with them on Wednesday morning. And then plan fun things to do on Tuesday, but those things will be there. And the conference is closed. It is closed for people who have registered. So we'll take care of those kind of things. But that is part of it. But there are plenty of things to do in beautiful downtown Minneapolis.
We haven't even mentioned it, but the Mall of America is not that far away from downtown Minneapolis, and there's a roller coaster that you can ride in the middle of the mall. I thought that was cool when I moved here.
If you're a shopper, the Mall of America is worth a visit, but you would need to take an Uber or some sort of public transit there. It's too far to walk, but it is cool to check out.
All right, so Beth, so yeah, we'll send out, we'll make this recording available of this webinar so people that can have that. And again, the conference packets, Lisa, I'll help you out with that too. So Lisa's from Illinois, so we can make sure that is taken care of. So anybody else, other questions? We were hoping to keep this to an hour. We hit it. Look, folks, it's like we practiced this or something. Don't let us fool you. We really did. We were on 2 minutes before y'all came on, and we had it all pulled together. But that's the way this is going to work. Really excited to have you there. How about last parting thoughts from anybody? Is it Carrie? Carrie told us all her favorite restaurants. Sue, you got a favorite one that we should know right off the top of our head?
Well, actually, I was texting with Beth from Wisconsin, and she was looking for a group recommendation. Buca de Beppo is always fun. It's a chain restaurant that you maybe you've heard of, but they serve family style Italian, which the food isn't fantastic, but the ambiance and the family atmosphere is really fun. So I would recommend that one for a large group. But that's the cool thing about technology. There's reviews for all sorts of restaurants. You can look at the menu online. There's lots of really great options. And we are so excited to have you travel to Minneapolis. So safe travels to everyone. Like the rest of us, pray for really great weather when you're here. And hopefully you'll just come home with some really great memories and inspiration to use agriculture with learners this summer and next school year.
There you go. Well, with that, folks, we really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you. On behalf of Emily, Tessa, Andy, we join Carrie and Sue and wishing you safe travels. And we can't wait to see you in Minneapolis. So thanks, everyone, and we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.